Andrea Cox here with AndreaCox.com and the DETOXintuitive.com, home of Alkalize with Andrea Detox Retreats. I am here in my garden, as you can hear the beautiful birds singing, and you know, I thought I would just harvest my garden for you guys real quick and show you what I got going on. Now, it's the end of season here. It is the end of October and beginning of November. And of course, if you guys have been with me for any length of time, oh, by the way, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification button, and the see all button. So if you guys have been with me for any amount of time, you guys know that I grew up in Ohio, and I grew up with a grandma that grew her own food. I often quote my grandmother Golda and her beautiful garden. She had 3 of them, and she had a hill of wildflowers. And I really put a lot of pride into growing my own food. Right now, I grow about 90% of my food. So we're gonna start here by harvesting some of these radishes. See, my radishes are absolutely huge. I'm just going to put those in a bowl like so. Now, when I pull these radishes, I'm going to have to repot something else. So I'm going to have to plant something else. I'm not going to be, these aren't going to come up again, right? So I know that by pulling these tonight, I'm going to be out here planting something else over the next few days. So I'm going to pull off any of the dead leaves, going to try to shake off most of the dirt like so. And I'm going to move on back over here and get some herbs. So I noticed I had some fresh basil and fresh mint over here. So I'm going to pull on some of this beautiful, beautiful basil right here. Or, oops, I'm sorry, the mint. And this is excellent to just put in your water every day. Also, back over here, I got some fresh basil, so I'm just going to cut some of that. And this will come back up, so you notice I'm not going to pull it up. I'm actually just going to cut and nip it like so. I've got some beets that look like they need a little more time. Now, folks, when you get beet greens like this, definitely use the beet greens. Beet greens are higher in chlorophyll than any green you will ever eat. So these are excellent to put in your salad, but these beets aren't quite ready to be pulled up. So let's get to my favorite part. Now, let's talk about radish greens, squash blossoms, squash greens. These greens are high in minerals, so you want to really wash them really good in some apple cider vinegar and water. See my video on that, on how to wash your greens, and put these in your salad. Right now, look at that. Can you get that at your grocery store? I don't think so. I do not think so. Now, my favorite part of my garden are these little guys right here. If you go to a farmer's market or a grocery store, you'll pay $7 to $14 for a tiny little bag of like 7 of these. They're called squash blossoms. These look beautiful in a salad. They are absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put them in tonight's salad. And I just love the tar out of these things. Wow, look at that. Gorgeousness. Tell me if you were entertaining people and you put these on a salad, they wouldn't be like, what are those? They're squash blossoms. We're going to move over to the kale, and I actually have a lot of kale to harvest. A few more squash blossoms. And here I got a nice little baby squash to pull off right there. Let's move on to the kale. So I'm going to actually hop on over. Be careful, folks. Don't try this at home. I got some sticky aloe right here. My legs are quite cut up from being in the garden. Now, you can see the Swiss chard in the kale. There's some kale that's really low to the ground, and there's some more kale that has raised. So the tallest kale is what I'm going to harvest, right? Anything that's more than a foot tall, you just want to cut it. Now, notice I'm not pulling the kale out because the kale, this type of kale, will regrow. Now, I let some of this go and it's dying off, which is fine. My God, so good. I mean, to not have to buy your own greens is like really like the most blessed feeling in the world. So these will go in tonight's dinner salad. And then we get to my favorite, the good stuff. Look at this beautiful chard. Look at this. I'm just gonna grab it like that. Look at that. Can you believe it? That's gorgeous. Okay, you guys, so this is today's harvest. This is the end of October, first day of November harvest, and this will last me for a few days in my kitchen. I'll eat these greens, wash them, store them properly. A lot of you have been requesting videos on how to store food, so I'll definitely have that coming up. So remember, drink your green juice. I love you guys. Head on over to AndreaCox.com and subscribe to my free newsletter, and I'll see you soon. Be well.
Okay.
Can you take one?